Hey guys, my name's Alyssa Prather.
And I'm Jaslyn Kaur.
And I'm Alondra Miranda, and today we're going to be talking about the relationship between racism and technology and how it's come to affect our daily lives and society.
So I wanted to start out by mentioning racism shown in media. So right now we're reading the book Algorithms of Oppression, and a really big point that was made was that when you were to look up black women on Google, the very first thing that would pop up would be pornography links, and also in images you'd see young women who have revealing pictures of themselves. And it's just kind of sad to see that when you look black women up, that's literally the first thing that pops up, and that's what other people see as well. It's also sad to see kids could be looking this up and that's what they're gonna see.
Yeah, so speaking about the book, when we look up why are black women so, who is it to blame? Are we the ones to blame, or do y'all feel like we're the ones to blame because we're the ones looking this up, or do y'all feel like technology should just reduce this and take it off the internet so we won't see this racism?
Well, I think part of the blame falls on Google because they're the ones that are deciding this algorithm that's pushing all of these racist ideas to the top. And so there comes a point to where you have to ask, when do they change the algorithm?
Yeah, and talking about Google again, same thing, in Algorithms of Oppression, I saw some other examples, and it was saying that when you were to look up when you were to look up white teenagers, the first picture to pop up would be 3 white children that are looking all happy, and it's just a normal picture. But vice versa, when you were to look up black teenagers, the very first picture that popped up would be a mugshot picture. And I also looked it up recently, and it's the same thing.
Speaking of mugshots, in a recent article by Alex Najibi, a PhD Harvard student, he states that facial recognition actually relies on mugshots to get a lot of its data, and black people are highly overrepresented in mugshot data, which feeds into this dangerous loop of black people are then more likely to be arrested, and then more likely to be surveyed, and then more likely to be arrested again. And it just kind of feeds into this idea that the public has about really negative stereotypes involving black people.
Yeah, so speaking of stereotypes, again, in Algorithms of Oppression, it stated that if you were to look up professional hairstyles, the pictures that would pop up would be of white women with blonde hair, or it would be of men, and vice versa, when you were to look up unprofessional hairstyles, it would be black women with their natural curly hair. So that is also feeding into the stereotypes that black women who have natural hair, that's unprofessional, which I think is really messed up.
Yeah, so if you look up professional haircut right now in 2021, you will actually see white males all over. There's probably 4 or 5 rows that are just males. There's no women, and there's no people of color, which is crazy because we're in 2021, and you can tell that not a lot has changed. Now you might be wondering where this problem originated from. I was actually reading a New York Times article by Cade Metz. He begins by talking a lot about the first ever significant meeting about AI. And in this conference, over 5,000 people attended, and the majority of those people were white males, which is crazy because if you're underrepresented from the start, I feel like it's just gonna get worse, and this racist background, you really have to just go back to the roots. And in that same article, I was reading about how Dr. Gebrew and Dr. Mitchell, which were former employees of Google, got fired for standing up for this discrimination within Google and the search engines and all that. Dr. Gebrew was actually the one who expressed how harmful biases were in the AI system, and he got fired first, and then Dr. Mitchell defended him, and then she got fired, which is very scary to me because the people that are actually trying to stand up against racism are being silenced.
Another group that is constantly being silenced by both the national and local governments is the Black Lives Matter protesters. In an article by ACLU, it states that the FBI used facial recognition to track Black Lives Matter protesters after the protests ended. This becomes a problem when you realize that facial recognition isn't always accurate, especially when it comes to people of color.
Tying into facial recognition, there have been a lot of social media filters recently that have also shown a lot of racial discrimination. An example would be on Snapchat. There's been an Asian filter, and if you were to use it, it would make your eyes look very narrow, and you would have yellow skin and buck teeth, which is just really messed up to even have a filter like that. Another filter is a blackface filter, which is crazy that that even exists, but on Snapchat, when you were to use this filter, it would literally darken your skin tone. Even though there's a lot of discrimination within social media, there are many positives when it comes to spreading awareness and things like that. So, as we all know, in spring of 2020, George Floyd's death sparked out a lot of BLM movements, and social media was a really good source that a lot of people use to spread awareness by posting about protests and gatherings and just spreading more information. A lot of people also posted like links to petitions that you can sign to support other companies and people. So I thought that was really nice that social media was used in a positive way. People also use different social media platforms like Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram to post a lot of videos from the BLM movements. One specifically, the camera footage of George Floyd's death. To me, I feel like if we didn't have that, we really wouldn't have been able to know the full truth. And with people sharing that footage on social media, it helped provide justice for George Floyd.
And a lot of people don't know that Derek Chauvin actually had multiple cases of police brutality against him before George Floyd's murder. And he was never held accountable for those because he was protected by the police union. The main difference between those cases and the George Floyd case was the video evidence, which played an instrumental role.
And again, this helps show how powerful social media can be. So talking about the power of social media, during the Black Lives Matter protests, a hashtag on Instagram actually went trending, and it was hashtag Blackout Tuesday. And during this time, a lot of people posted a black screen to show their support towards Black lives. And in the caption, they said a few words that helped show other people that, to know that you're not alone and that we're here to support you. So I thought that was really cool that just with the help of social media, how people from all around the world were able to come together and show their support towards each other.
Another recent event on social media that has sparked attention is the Free Palestine movement. This Palestinian and Israeli tension has been going on for years, but there's many, including myself, who just recently started learning about it. I definitely feel like the social media platforms like Instagram have helped us spread awareness and brought more knowledge to our society. There's been a lot of Free Palestine protests, even in like Europe, the United States, and Canada.
And this issue is also very prevalent in our own community. For example, Berry College's Solidarity Week did a series on the Palestine and Israeli conflict over the summer that outlined the conflict and the United States' role in the conflict.
Also within our community, one of our friends, May, has been to many protests over the summer where she went to support Palestine, and technology also ties into this because she posted a lot about it, and that's the way we found out. She posted on her Snapchat and Instagram pictures and videos from the protests. And I also wanted to mention, I don't know if anyone has seen, but this year's Met Gala, Kim Kardashian wore an all-black outfit covered from head to toe, and her face was covered. And this ties in with Palestine because a lot of Muslim women wear hijabs, or they wear some dress and clothes where all their face is covered. So it's very similar to Kim Kardashian's outfit. And on social media like Instagram, a lot of people were reposting saying that what Kim Kardashian is wearing can be considered as fashion, and it's really cool and it's something different that they've seen. But people don't realize that Muslim women are being oppressed because they're not allowed to wear hijabs and things like that. So I think it's also really messed up because Kim Kardashian is seen as an icon when she's wearing it, but compared to other women who wear it for religious reasons, they're looked down upon.
Yeah, I saw Kim Kardashian's outfit on Instagram, and although I didn't criticize her, it definitely made me realize how sad it is that like we'll praise a celebrity if she wears something that covers her body, but if it's like a woman that does it for like her religion, she's like looked down upon. And actually France banned women from wearing hijabs, and the Taliban, they're actually forcing women to wear hijabs and burqas. So this oppression of Muslims can go in both directions.
So with all of these events, we can see how technology has both allowed us to recognize the discrimination and racism present in our society, but how it has also contributed to that discrimination.
So thank you guys for listening to us talk about the relationship between racism, AI, facial recognition, and social media, and we'll see you guys next time.